Welcome back to the Shoeless Shows podcast, media podcast heard around the world. It's Isaiah, Mike, and Obi, and big news happening. This might be the first podcast where we're getting to cover the big news and not finishing the podcast, editing it, putting it out, and then receiving the news. So I'm glad we get to cover the news this time.
And now that you said that, Bradley Beal's going to be traded 4 minutes after we finish recording this episode.
I'll cry.
I'll really be mad. I'll really be mad. I'm not gonna lie.
But the big news Isaiah's alluding to is, of course, the Carson Wentz trade that shook up the entire NFL today. But obviously, before we get into that, you already know what speech is coming. The socials. The socials, man. Instagram, Twitter at ShoelessJoesPod. I mean, thank you guys. Last episode, you guys liked the mailbag. Interacting with us on social media, commenting down below in the YouTube. We appreciate that. We love that.
More to come.
For sure. So make sure you follow those so you can be involved in all those kind of stuff going forward in the future. Subscribe here. Make sure you put the bell on, all those good stuff. And without further ado, we can get right into our topics for today. So topic number 1, like we just alluded to, Carson Wentz. There was rumblings for a few weeks that a deal to Indianapolis was close, and now it's actually completed. So the final trade goes down as a third rounder this year, and a second rounder next year, conditional second rounder, where if Wentz plays in 70% of their games, 75% of their total snaps, and they make the playoffs, that becomes a first rounder for Philly, which, knowing Wentz's injury history, sounds like a lot of what ifs for my liking. But the big thing about this trade was that people were really surprised by the compensation that Philly received, but also the fact that in completing this trade that they had to take on $33 million in dead money, which is the largest amount of dead money taken on by a team in any trade ever. So I know a lot of Eagles fans out there were upset today, and I guess that means Jalen Hurts is the quarterback for the foreseeable future in Philly. I would hope. So first, from the Eagles' perspective, what did you think about this trade? What do you think that means for their future? And how do you think that they handled this entire Wentz situation over the last couple months?
I think it's been bubbling for more than just the last couple months. I mean, obviously, drafting Jalen Hurts to begin with, due to his injury history, was kind of iffy already. And they never got through the playoffs with him. It was always Nick Foles and then whoever was the backup. So his injury history is really, really gotten in the way of, like, that one year he was going to win MVP over Tom Brady, and we gave Tom Brady another MVP, whatever. But not, yeah. I think I really did like him as a quarterback, even though I'm a Giants fan. So having him out of the division is, I think, good. And if he can stay healthy, then that Colts team probably won't miss a beat. Yeah, I'm done.
My fault. Yeah, but
Go B, let's go.
my fault, bro. But I think I think it was best for both parties. You can obviously tell the trust in Wentz was gone, and now Wentz is in my opinion, a better situation without O-line and Indy. But I don't like all this Jalen Hurts talking about QB1. I feel like he didn't prove enough to me, to be honest, for me to start call him my starting quarterback for the future.
I think they had no choice, honestly. I don't know who that kid they threw in the back to as the backup was in that last game.
The Giant.
Sudfield.
They call him the Giant Killer, I think.
Yeah, definitely broke my heart. So.
I mean, if you think about it from Philly's perspective, like we talked about it before on the pod before, like it just makes more sense if you're not if you just saw what Wentz did this year, and if you can't go into another season paying him that much money with already not a roster that might not be playoff ready, and then going to a season with him taking up that much money, and then if he does that again, then then all the value is completely gone. So I feel like, and at that point, Wentz wanted to start. He wasn't starting. He was mad at the organization. It just wasn't, like Obi said, it was best for both parties. From the Colts perspective, I feel like I'm not sure how it works with like the dead money situation, but if they're not having to pay all his guarantees, then like obviously it makes
it
it
was
an
beautiful.
even it makes it even more of a no-brainer. Um, and now he's reunited with Frank Wright, so that's definitely big for him in his career. And they still need weapons, but like Obi alluded to, like that offensive line is really strong with Quentin Nelson and company. So they really could be the team to beat in or one of the teams to beat in the AFC, obviously besides Kansas City and Buffalo. But they really they need to upgrade the weapons still to give him more of a chance. But that offensive line is already a major upgrade to what he was dealing with in Philly.
Yeah, no
Wow.
more Michael Pittman at the number 1, please.
Yeah, let's forget
Gosh.
Michael Pittman. He is garbage. But they have what they have Marlon Mack coming back next year. I think they have like a really good squad, and I think if Carson Wentz
Their backfield,
under Frank Reich, yeah, their backfield is ridiculous. But under Frank Reich, like I think Carson Wentz would be. I think he'll kind of go back to being the old Carson Wentz. We saw it this year. Like obviously he was just like missing reads or whatever, but maybe the chemistry was off, and also he's throwing to Jalen Rager, and that's about it. And Travis Fulgham like had like 11 receptions one game this year, and is not going to do anything next year. No, I'm kidding. I like Travis Fulgham. I'll pick him up in fantasy, but yeah, that and they had the best defense last year in the league. So that team is just they were after they lost Phil Rivers, they were a quarterback away from being. I think maybe they're better. I don't know. I think the chemistry between Frank Reich and Carson Wentz is going to be big for them. I think he's just going to be comfortable.
Like I think the whole thing last year was that he was always on the run, and then when he was on the run, he was trying to do like someone clipped together a video on Twitter of like all his throws that were interceptions that were like not even close, like not even remotely close to anybody but the other team. And I thought that was funny. But hopefully, like if he has more time in the pocket, and they upgrade a few more weapons, then he can return to MVP form. But I mean, for me, like it's hard to see a way in which like Philly like quote unquote wins this trade. I mean, unless they like use all that. I mean, I was gonna say use all that cap space, but dead money. So
but it's dead.
money that's no longer alive, I guess. So I don't know what that means, but it's gonna be.
You said it's the most dead money that's ever been eaten up.
Yeah, in NFL history. So I'm glad that the Jets got the better part of that, the front office that was in Philly before, because Howie Roseman's going through it. Another move that's been talked about a lot this week is J.J. Watt being cut by the Houston Texans, and they say cut, but I mean they mutually agreed to part ways because they didn't want to pay him any more money, and he didn't want to be on a losing team anymore. So now he's been out on social media talking about like free agency is wild. Like we've seen T.J. Watt, we've seen
having fun.
Him post the all gas no breaks, and then everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to the Jets because of Salah," and he said that in the presser. And then I was like, and then me and Obi were like, "Nah," but I mean, yeah. So JJ Watt's a free agent, and then I mean, I know me and Obi have talked about it just because the Jets were mentioned off pod, of course, but I think a lot of people still feel that he can produce. It's just how much money is going to be attached to that production. So what do you think? What kind of money do you think he gets, and where do you think is the best fit for him in general?
Did I don't know if I said this to you or I said this on the podcast. I can't remember. But anytime any player is available, the Jets name is brought up anytime ever, which is a testament to how bad they are, because they obviously need help at every position. But I'm not trying to clown them. I'm just saying the Jets are brought up when anyone is a free agent. Anyone is available. They bring up the Knicks. Hey, bro, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just saying what is.
Yeah.
Just saying what is. All right, man.
To get my dig in there. I just have to get my dig in there. Hurt. Oh, you're pointing at your TV, are you?
I am.
Are you?
So win it.
I should have known they weren't going to win today because they're not playing the Cavs or the Pistons. So. Guaranteed loss, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, but they also didn't that
you gonna beat us in the playoffs? You gonna beat us in the playoffs? Just one.
We would.
I'll cross the bridge when we get there.
Out your mind.
I think we would.
I don't know. I remember the last 30 ball we gave you guys.
You want to put $100 bet on that?
When the series comes around, if like CJ.
Shout out CJ.
Appreciate you. Thanks for listening, CJ. Appreciate you.
Miami sucks.
Your boy.
But we can talk money
birthday
when the matchup occurs. If it occurs, we can talk money. It won't be a lot of money, but we'll talk money.
Can talk about Dallas.
Yeah, but back to JJ Watt, man. He better
Oh
just
shoot,
go play with his brothers. Well, over here talking about the
that
Jets.
would be dope. That would be dope if he did go to the Steelers though. That would
I feel,
be three brothers on the same team.
but I feel
All
like
eat at Subway. That's crazy.
that's like the predictable move though. Like everyone's expecting him to go there because it's his brothers, and like I don't know. There was talks about him going to the Browns, and I feel like that could be funny with like them both being in the AFC North and like that rivalry already. Like especially what happened in the playoffs just now when they were
Yeah,
talking the same old Browns and how like I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like that him bringing him in is like adding to like that culture that they're building, like the whole
Him
dog
and
pound
Miles
thing.
Garrett off the edge is
Jesus
kind of
Christ, yeah.
you
And
probably.
Sheldon Richardson in the middle would be
Oh my
ridiculous.
goodness.
But yeah, I mean, I
My
think
goodness.
I don't think there's any questions about like his production still. It's just like how much you want to pay him if he's hurt all the time.
How
And
much
like
is
I
it?
feel like he's at the point in his career where he's just gonna, if anything, he'll get like inflated 1 year deals that aren't like crazy guaranteed. And like I feel like that's not like that's a kind of deal that any team would be willing to take a flyer on. Like it's just like when you start getting like multiple years for guaranteed money with like players like that, where you like especially in the NFL where any injury, where you start like to worry about that a
Yeah.
lot.
And he's aging in NFL years too. Like it's his NFL lifespan is probably shortening, which is why he's looking for somewhere to go and somewhere to win. And yeah, those injuries, the wear and tear on his like he's getting killed every play. Like there's not a like the wide receivers get to last long, running backs, some of them last long, but the linemen, like the D linemen and O linemen, get hit every single play. There's not a play where they don't get hit.
It's like a
So
guy, 350-pound guy just pushing, trying to knock you down every single play for years.
Unless you're Terrell Suggs.
Jesus,
Suggs has been in the league for a minute.
I don't know how. Ridiculous. And then so the other real domino left to fall, and the major domino left to fall in the NFL is Deshaun Watson.
quarterback.
I don't know. These reports have not been kind to us the last couple of days, Obi.
They haven't. I
At
think
all.
it's smoke. I think it's smoke.
I hope so. But yeah,
I
so
think
now
y'all are smoking if you think he's going to the JETS.
now
Listen,
the latest.
I just didn't want y'all to get your I didn't want y'all to get your hype up because if he doesn't go there, which there's a big chance, then like you guys aren't like we've been talking on this podcast. You guys haven't considered any other options. I just want you to go there. You haven't even talked about
That's
any
not
other
true.
quarterbacks going here.
I haven't said them on the internet, but in
No,
my
that's
head,
on the internet.
in my
the
head,
internet.
I've been thinking of the
If
fall,
we get Sam
the
Darnold
escape
again,
the escape route for when this backfires. I mean, so the latest report with like Deshaun Watson on like the Jets front was kind of like he's like aware of their situation and that he doesn't want like he does not want them to give up. It's like not that, but like he wouldn't want to. It sounded like he wouldn't want to go here if they were giving up too much to get him because then it'd be the same situation as with the Texans. And I feel like yeah, but wouldn't that apply to most teams that he's because none of the teams that are and this is like the 49ers, then like none of the teams that are going to get him are like ready now as like currently built to win anyway. And like I think the whole thing with the Texans like holding on to him is just like it's
I
just
don't know
like
if I agree with that, but
who?
you said except the 49ers.
Yeah, like the 49ers, like if they traded for Deshaun Watson and give like draft capital, like they'd be ready to win a Super Bowl. But I don't know if any other teams.
in my opinion, I don't think Miami's too far off.
Oh, I was about to say Miami too. If you
I
didn't,
don't think they're too far off.
I think I don't.
That's
I
true.
mean, the offense is kind of not there, but the defense is stout.
He is
Yeah,
the off. He'll be the offense. So
the defense is there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting because now, like, it's gonna. I feel like the
And
Texans
Flores too.
have been playing hardball about not moving him, but at the end of the day, like we said, like everyone said it a million times, like hold him if he's willing to hold out. The best thing to do is to just move him because, like, you're not gonna get you. That's like if this goes into next year and then all of a sudden, like, the value might go down or whatever happens, then like you're making your football team worse. Which I feel like if that's their main concern, then moving Watson would be the move. And then we were talking about this on a PlayStation party the other day about the Carolina Panthers and the reports that the Panthers would be willing to give up multiple, like they're saying 3 first rounders and Christian McCaffrey. There was some debate around amongst us and that on that topic. But when you hear offers like that, you kind of understand why Watson's talking about. I don't want a team to give up to whoever the team is to give up too much to get me because then, like, I
We
mean,
won't have anything. They'll only have him when they get there. When he gets there. But all right. But that's what I'm saying. That also, if that offer is on the table, even though they have David Johnson that they traded for DeAndre Hopkins, which was a great move on their part, if that is on the table, what other like what other options do they have to take? Like, who is going to match that? That's like if you're trying to buy a car and then oh no, that's like what are the, like you know when stores say if you can bring us a price or something, like when Pizza Hut, oh yeah. But if like Pizza Hut used to have like if you could find someone else's coupons that are nice, we'll give you those coupons. Like you can use them here. But like 3 first rounders and Christian McCaffrey, 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving is what you're going to get out of him.
I don't know. The price, it's something is I don't know what's gonna happen.
PJ Walker at quarterback.
You think they definitely move him? Like I think like because people were even talking about in that trade, like you could even throw in Teddy Bridgewater to the section to be like, yeah, if you can hold it down for a little bit while you figure out the rest of the rebuild.
Yeah, give us a team. Yeah, they're giving them an offense.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. And like. I guess the Carolina could do that because like Matt Rule has like all the power in the entire organization and like a 10-year. Yeah, he's like
whatever he wants.
He does like he has like a 10-year deal and like all the personnel decisions or like 7 years or something crazy. So I don't know.
Like Gruden, doesn't Gruden have that with Vegas?
But if you're the Texans, do you think that's the best deal out there though?
110%. If they throw Bridgewater in it, that'd be ridiculous.
I'm saying if they throw it too. I feel like they would have to. I wouldn't. There's no reason to keep Bridgewater in that situation if you're gonna go and get this one.
I mean, if you're like the only thing that could beat that is like a similar draft compensation and like a very good young quarterback, like that you wouldn't have to draft one instead.
A very good young quarterback.
Or like I mean like
like a Sam Darnold.
No,
or Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm saying not like a Sam Darnold.
Or Daniel Jones per se.
I would think about it.
I hope so.
I would think about it.
I hope so.
I mean, while we're talking about Sam Darnold, there was reports now that like the Jets are likely, or like it appears that other teams interested in Darnold that the Jets are going to move him eventually, and they said that Rich Cimini came on the Michael Kay show today and was saying that he believes that. Well, first of all, that the Wentz deal has no impact on Darnold's trade value, but also that the Jets will get more for Darnold than the Eagles did for Wentz. Which, if you're telling me that you're getting more than a third and a second for Darnold, then like I think like either you just do it and you draft whichever quarterback you guys like they believe is the best at number 2, or they use that capital to package in that Watson deal because. I mean, like I like Sam, and I think he's going to be successful where he goes if they're put in the right system. But him being so close to like free agency, kind of, it's just best for both parties, kind of thing. But what do you guys think about like Darnold's value and what the Jets should do, like with him?
I saw a report that if the Colts didn't come to an agreement for Carson Wentz, they were going to go after Sam Darnold. So I mean. Obviously, him being in New York, I've kind of chronicled his entire journey through the seeing ghost and everything, and the and the bright spots he's had. So I know he's not a terrible quarterback. I know he's not awful, but so I understand like the interest in him being large, especially with him being young. There's a lot of like coaches in the league who are like, I can take that guy and I can like Adam Gase couldn't do it for sure, but I could definitely work with Sam Darnold. So I get it.
Like I don't know. I think he could be a top 15 quarterback. Like not top 10, but like in that like 10 to 15 range.
11. I mean, I don't know.
It depends on. I'd say it depends on what happened with Dak and like.
There's not really that many bad quarterbacks as there used to be. Like a lot of teams don't like the teams that even need quarterbacks now are like teams that don't necessarily. All right, there's like Washington and like Chicago, but the other teams don't really necessarily need one. They just want to upgrade, and I mean that's a good place for the NFL to be. Yeah, so I guess that wraps up our little NFL segment. We're trying to set a record here. If you guys couldn't tell already, we're trying to. There's a primetime game on that everyone wants
to Zoom.
So now
Wait,
we
question.
transition.
I'm watching the stream. I'm watching the stream right now. Is the Bucks game over? Because Giannis just fouled out, so I'm ready to turn off my TV.
No, it's not over here. Right here with us.
There's a minute and 19 left in
Yeah,
the as we
turn that off.
record in the Bucks game. So now that's what I guess it's a great segue for NBA talk, our bread and butter on the Shoeless Joe's podcast. Soon to be the
Your
podcast
favorite.
heard
Your
around the world.
favorite.
So, the major stories going on right now. Well, we're thinking about talking deadline, but that's too far away, and nothing else is really going on. So I guess we can talk about the NBA All-Star voting that the results
Yeah,
came out
like
today.
why you guys didn't vote for Dame to be the starter? What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Oh my goodness!
And I guess that's the.
You
I guess
know what's crazy? My fault. But
No, you got
you know
it.
what's crazy? About
crazy?
a year ago, this time, I'm pretty sure I was arguing with Noah Gomez about who's better between Luka and Dame, and the casual said Luka. And now look where we are. We're in a casual world. Sad to see. Man.
Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to say that the argument has kind of shifted a little bit since you last had it a year ago.
Yeah.
I think Luka's moved a little closer to Dame. I mean, I still think Dame Lillard. I already said Dame Lillard was like my pick for MVP this year, which is not gonna happen because of the King. But, yeah, I think Dame is definitely one of the top players in the league. But Luka's right there with him. But Luka's not having that good of a season this year. So that's what I'm saying. Like the fan vote, like I don't know. The voting system is so weird for everything. For MVP, for that guy to win 2 years. I mean, what was I let's say? But but no, that yeah, the voting system is so weird the way they do things.
I get it, triple double, points, rebounds, assists, it's cute, but like Dame constantly constantly brings that trash ass team that's always hurt.
But that team's not trash. That team is.
They're not trash. They're not trash.
Better than Dallas.
I'm talking about in the past. I'm not talking about right now. But the fact that like CJ's gone down, I'm pretty sure they've been struggling to figure out who went down.
Nurkic and Collins went down.
There we go. At center, like,
and they don't have Whiteside anymore.
Yeah, and they've barely been figuring it out. And Dame is still like carrying them to a 4 seed, and people are not putting respect on his name to be the starter over Luka. Luka was expected to be the MVP and is the 10th seed in the West. Like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I think like a lot of that had to do with like no, I agree, and I definitely agree. But I also think like the hype around Luka came from like what he was doing against the Clippers, and then like they came into the offseason and then their roster did not upgrade at all and actually made moves to make them worse. So the expectations remain the same, but the roster was not as good. So it just makes it look a lot worse. And then I mean that's fine for me because
I hope they keep losing.
We have the draft pick, but I mean no
dropping stock.
Dame definitely deserves that starting spot. I mean, it's like when it comes to situations like that, it's annoying because like two great players and like to build one up to break one down to build one up. But like it's definitely obvious that Dame should be the starter in the West. Were there any other like objections that you guys had with like East or West? I mean, I personally don't. Like I think everything went as planned so far.
No more objections, but just make sure Zach LaVine is an all-star this year. All right, guys. I don't know if the voting's still open. But
voting's
sure
closed.
Zach
Voting's
LaVine
closed.
Just make sure.
Voting's closed. It's all in the coach's hands now.
Zach LaVine will definitely get it.
Zach LaVine can make it as long as Julius makes it too, and then we'll have no problems.
Wait, all right, but yeah, for sure. But last year, Bradley Beal didn't even make the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous though.
Which was absolutely
that was absurd. That was absurd.
Made no sense at all. And this year he's a starter, so he definitely deserves it. This is kind of a sympathy play too. Because
it was a sympathy.
Like as many points as he is scoring, every headline is poor Bradley Beal sitting on the bench. He's got a meme from every game this year. Just him on a like this, bro.
This is a makeup call in real time, like a year later. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, at the end of the day, his teammate, I don't know, man. I don't want to see him in any All-Star festivities. I don't think
Harden could have. Oh my goodness,
he's gonna get it though. That's the sad part. I think Russ is gonna get that All-Star spot.
No shot.
Bro, his fan base is ridiculous.
Yeah, but his fan base doesn't matter anymore. Once you're not voted in, your fan base doesn't matter. So
Noah.
nah. I mean, if you're just talking about like, I'm pretty sure like the reserves is like all up to the coaches, and if it is, then like, yeah, he's
No,
not.
I
the
don't think
coach.
he
Yeah, the
has
coaches
that
have
much.
the coaches have a higher say, but I'm pretty sure they still use the fan voting as well, though. There's no way they're not
Use
gonna.
that, the media.
No, I
Well, yeah,
think
they got to use some of that fan vote.
yeah, but the fan
Yeah,
vote's just for the starters.
no, the fan vote like
I'm
they
pretty
have like
sure.
they have a placing, and like if there's a tie,
Like a
then the fan
percentage.
vote. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
percentage. The
Oh,
fan vote takes
oh, if there's a
the high.
tie.
That's what happened with Dame and Luca. They were tied, and the fan vote came up. But
Okay, that makes
yeah,
sense.
the coaches have more percentage points with the reserves. But so that fan vote on Russell Westbrook is kind of
Can
ridiculous.
Julius Randle win Most Improved Player?
He can, but I doubt he
I don't think he's in the
will.
running for that, but he's definitely not the same player he was last year. I mean,
No,
I
I
think
know
he's
we're
gonna get
Knicks
over
fans and we're
Jeremy Grant.
biased. Yeah, that too. Jeremy Grant is killing too.
I mean, if you depends. Like, if you're basing it on like
That's
just
one of my at least
stats,
runner up.
then like no, because like his stats last year weren't bad. Like he was like 19 and
Mm-hmm.
10 last year, but like now he's
Producing
shooting
winning.
like now he's winning and he's shooting like he's like went up like 3 or 4 points, like double his assist numbers in like year 6. He's like shooting 40% from three.
Right.
I mean I would like obviously like I'm biased to say that he should definitely be in the running, but I don't know if like if you're not watching every game, then you're just seeing the stats like that minor stat improvement, and you're not going to say like. But I
Yeah.
mean,
It
taking the
comes down
Knicks,
to like, oh, go ahead.
no, taking the Knicks from where they were projected this preseason, like plus his projection, plus that, you should definitely have an argument. But like, yeah, I don't think it's hard for him to be like above like a Jeremy Grant who like has so much more usage, so his stats are even more like inflated than they previously
Mm-hmm.
were, kind of thing. Yeah.
By the way, while we're talking about Jeremy Grant, Denver Nuggets, y'all sold crazy. Should have just involved him on offense. Would have had a 20-point score.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy because I know Jokic and Murray played a big part in coming back down from 3-1 twice, but like,
Nah, yeah, he did too.
yeah, but like it's a collective. You no, two players cannot. One player can, and his name is LeBron James.
LeBron James.
But two players cannot help you come back down from 3-1 in a series.
Trust me,
It's never
one
been done
player
before.
can.
Oh, also those two players could be Clay and Steph, though. I'll say that. Sorry, KD.
I mean,
Eat it, Frank.
even if you think about the Denver thing, like because they let Plumlee walk too, and Plumlee was like a big part. Like they're playing like Isaiah Hartenstein as their backup 5 now.
Plumlee had a triple double last
Yeah.
night.
He's
It's like,
also on the Pistons.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
on the
That's
Pistons.
crazy.
8 other centers that they have. I mean, it's kind of just like it kind of makes it seem like they had like a plan in mind that they didn't execute, like what they were going to do with that cap space kind of thing. Because like there's no other reason that like I get Jeremy Grant's contract. Like I don't think that's unreasonable though, especially like what he was like producing in the playoffs for you
No,
guys.
the problem wasn't the contract between the two of them. Like he got the contract numbers he was looking for. He wanted them to involve him more in the offense. And Carl, who's their coach? Is it Carl Malone?
No.
I mean,
No, Mike Malone.
Mike Malone.
Mike Malone. I said Carl
Definitely
Malone.
not
I
Carl Malone.
apologize.
They can't get a job anywhere right
Yeah,
now.
but he said
A menace.
Not in this climate.
saying he can't be 18 around that kid.
Not
Oh
this
man. Or under, even worse.
culture.
Even worse.
Um,
Yeah, but Mike Malone said like he wasn't gonna change the offense. Like he was gonna just make it work, and they're just gonna get new pieces around him. So it's either he took the contract or not. He walked.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like,
get being a good guy, but just lie. Just say.
nah, I agree. Because like,
Say we will and don't.
I
Oh,
don't
we got you. Like what?
like I don't
Yeah,
think
but you know how it is nowadays. It's a players' league, so
No,
they
yeah.
don't.
You're right.
but it's a players league, but it's also like you gotta like I get it because obviously like he's showing what he can do, but also Nikola Jokic and also like Jamal Murray. So like
Hard.
saying that like it depends. Like if it was like a minor disagreement, I don't think it would have made him. He wouldn't have signed in Detroit like to be
I'm
on
saying.
that team. Like he
Harper Hempel on the payroll too. Come on.
He must have wanted like a massive like role in the offense. I guess I don't even know because for that disagreement to lead him to Detroit is kind of
Yeah, but listen,
a classic on the pod.
do you think? I don't think he's out of Detroit this year. I think it will definitely happen next year when like somebody's a piece away. He's gonna be that guy. I mean,
Who?
I just
Jeremy
hate.
Grant?
Yeah, I just hate that like his talent. Like we saw it in display in the bubble, but I hate that his talent's like wasted in Detroit right now.
But that's
Oh,
it.
and
He made that choice though.
No,
That's
yeah, that is what he wanted.
I
He
guess he
wanted to
wanted like the
showcase.
showcase. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
now Blake
but I
Griffin
thought
is
he was
out of there
great for
too.
them. Yeah,
that's sad too.
he's gonna average 40.
They're really posting videos about this Blake Griffin's last dunk. Like that's mad sad, bro.
Okay, but he also did that to himself too, because he got
No,
to he.
he's how did he do that to himself? The
They
Clippers
did him
violated him.
slime, bro.
No, he
No,
signed
no,
that
no.
dotted line and they sent him away.
They did. I remember he was talking about it. How they showed him. They showed him like the clips, like you're gonna be
Yeah,
here for
bro.
the future, and then shipped him
Jesus.
to Detroit, Michigan. But
And then what's his name? The Clippers on him trying to go shake his hand,
some flips.
and
Steve
he ran
Ballmer.
away.
Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer, yeah,
Oh,
and he ran away from
Because
him.
Ballmer runs everything there. So, yeah, that is sad for Blake. I mean, we could if you guys want to touch on Drummond real quick, we could. What's going on with that situation? I mean,
You guys think he's going to get traded, or you think it's going to be a buyout?
nah,
I think it'll be a
no one's
buyout.
giving up anything for him. I mean, I don't know why you would. Like, he got traded for a second round pick last year. Like, no one's gonna give him more than that this year. Like, nothing's changed. I mean, he'll get
I
bought
wait for the
out.
buyout, and he'll be in Brooklyn. So
Or LA.
I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know.
They said the
I just
Lakers were
don't.
going to trade for him.
I think he'll be a good piece. I just don't know how much of like a game changer he'll really like. I guess for like a team that's that close, then like yeah, he could be a game changer. But like obviously, it's just judging based on like his previous stops. But I guess when there's already a championship built roster and you just throw him in there, but I mean like, and if you look at like all like his like advanced metrics and stuff, all of them say that he's like all his stats are like negative. In like they fill the box score, but his impact is more negative like than anything else. I mean, but I don't know.
like I said before, when you brought this up to me, the situations he's never been put in a winning one. Now we're gonna find out.
That's true. He does have to be run through the mill. They have
I
to
mean, you
put
said that about DeAndre Jordan before the season, and now they're looking for someone to replace DeAndre Jordan.
I didn't say that about DeAndre
Yes,
Jordan.
you
That's
did.
not exactly what I said.
He
No, you said
couldn't have
something
said
similar.
that because
Something
DeAndre's
similar.
been in a winning situation.
No, you said. I said.
That's what, like
I
what?
told you he was washed, and you said no, he's not washed. He just hasn't been trying because he doesn't have to because now he's in a winning situation.
He was with the Knicks. He was with the Knicks.
Was with the Knicks.
Yeah, I know.
He was with the Knicks.
Competing for
Why would-
championships.
You think so?
Yeah,
For all the
that's what I
glory.
saw at least, man.
Your whole
That's what you were
21 years
hoping.
of life, you saw the Knicks winning chips.
Yeah, man.
A whole life.
All
All
the
right.
years. Every year they've
Hey
been
man,
back.
hey man, your birthday's in a month. You never know. This year might be the one, man.
I'm saying at 22,
Julius.
Julius.
man, just get me to the playoffs and then we'll reevaluate then.
Yeah, when you get slapped by the Bucks in the first round.
Bro, you really
You
hope,
better hope
bro,
so,
You
bro.
really hope you
But
don't
you-
see us, bro.
The thing is, bro, is like at that point, bro, it's house money. Because if we get to first of all, me going to the playoffs, I'm gonna be hype regardless. We win a
I'm
game, I'm gonna be doubly as hype. We win 2 games, you're gonna hear me from where you're sitting, right on this bed.
I'm building a wall right at the circle on the
Yo,
inside of the
let me
paint.
tell
We
you-
get-
let me
we
tell
get-
you
Go
right
ahead and
now.
shoot it, Giannis.
We get any
Yeah,
series at
listen.
7, bro. All right, we win a series,
Listen-
bro. I'm gonna
Listen
be
to what I'm saying right now. If you guys end up beating them in a series, I'm not showing up to the show that week. I'm telling you that right now.
Bro, you gotta show
I'm not
actually.
showing up.
You gotta show up in a Knicks jersey. Actually, is what you gotta show up in the. Where's my Frank?
We'll talk money.
Frank,
You gotta show up in this, bro.
Oh
nigga
my
that's gonna
lord.
get cut. He's gonna get cut next week.
In the Neil Aquina. Oh man.
Nicola Kina.
I'll have Kenny invite him to the show for you. I know you'd enjoy that.
Oh
Would.
man. Neil
I
Aquina.
got you.
Shoeless Joe's podcast.
Oh,
A birthday
no.
gift.
Hey
Frank,
Frank,
gonna call you.
where did it all go wrong? what- I love you, Frank.
Don't watch this episode,
I
Frank.
apologize.
Don't watch
I
this
apologize,
episode,
man.
Frank.
On the bright side, I'm the only person in the world who has a jersey, so you can't be too mad at me. So,
Well, looks like
Except for him.
it's
Oh no, except for
he
him.
says up
Frank,
front.
Yeah.
Frank has the jersey.
Thank you guys again for tuning in to this episode of the Shoeless podcast. You know what to do, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us your favorite part about this episode. And if
Oh,
you don't like,
Was it how short it
subscribe,
was?
and
Because we ran
comment,
through it.
I'm saying, and if you like that, we can do that. We're busy people. We know you're busy. You don't want to miss any. I know you don't want to miss a second of the Shoeless Just podcast. So if you want shorter episodes, tell us 20 minutes, 30
Seconds.
minutes, 15. You tell us the time, we'll make it work. Just give us the topics. Whatever you need, we can get it done. But yeah, I mean that wraps it up. I mean by next episode we'll know who the other all-stars are. I don't know what else. Maybe another quarterback gets
Besides Julius
traded or
Randle.
something. Who knows?
JJ Watt will go somewhere. No, yeah,
It's
the
just
NFL
Frank
is
gets
ready
cut.
to blow up. Oh my goodness. DJ Augustine gets cut.
Thank you,
Yeah.
God.
No,
Thank
we do kind of need something major to happen because we've been saying the same things to you guys for a few weeks now, and we're trying not to do that. So hence why this one is so short. So, Deshaun Watson, please get traded. Somebody make
Jets.
Bradley Beal get traded.
Make.
Somebody do something so we can talk about it.
Bradley Beal win a game. We'll maybe talk about that too.
Equally as impressive, I guess. But
Feeding himself.
Bradley, if you're listening, well, win a game.
We love you. We love you.
But
Bradley.
win a game
We'll
also.
win a game.
Thanks for listening. We got to go watch this NBA Finals possible preview, and we'll see y'all next week. Go Knicks.